Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. Cheers. I've already started and got my drink poured. Was just over there on Live Wire and said hello. Wish I could have been there a little longer, but a friend of mine had called me and we started chatting. So, next thing I know, 45 minutes went by. And so I couldn't get over there and spend as much time on Live Wire as I wanted to, but we're going to pretty much get right into this tonight. Let me get over there into chat and just say, hey, Mike, cheers. Nice to see you. Ben, always good to see you. And Jack, I don't know if you can see this, but let me move over. Do you see what is over my shoulder there, Jake? Do you see that bottle in the box? Mm-hmm. I found mine. I found mine. Can you believe it? Bourbon Baller, cheers, man. Hope you are having a wonderful evening. Always good to see you here. But yeah, they have one more there, Jack, that I'm kind of on the fence on. I have never had it. Whoops, hit the wrong button here. And which one was it? Hold on. It is a USA limited release #1 in that, and it's one of 207 bottles. So, and it's 100 proof, Jacob. But I had to pick up the Tawny Port one because I know that was good because you dropped that off to me, and I never thought I would see it, period. And lo and behold, there it was. So, that being said, let me move over. There it is. Bingo, right there. So I'm going to have to pop that one night just because. And what the heck? John, well, I knew that would spark your interest. That is the Tawny Port 6-year. I picked that up. Well, actually, I don't know if you heard prior, John, but Jack dropped off, or AKA Jacob dropped off a sample to me. He sent me a blind, and that was one of them in there. And of course, then he tells me, well, unfortunately, it's not available. You know, it's just not hanging around anywhere. So that being said, I was disappointed. Guess what I stumbled upon yesterday? And I immediately sent Jacob a picture to make sure that that was the bottle, and it was. So anyway, so it's there. I had my wife and I went over today, and we picked that up. So I'm happy I got that, and I will open that thing up here eventually and enjoy it again. Stacy, cheers. Always great to see you. Isaiah, glad to see you, man. Cheers. Nice to see you. Dan, how are you? Great having you here as always. Mr. Davilar, how the heck are you? So glad you can make it. And do me a favor, everybody. Remember to go over there and smash that like button. Show some love for the channel. And also, if you have not subscribed, if people are just lurking in the background, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like. We always do appreciate it. And here we go. Australia is officially represented from Scotch Down Under. Cheers, Ken. Always great to see you, brother. And Richie, over there on the West Coast. Cheers, man. Nice to see you. Thank you for popping in. Whoops. I missed it. The chat is popping on me here. Eric, cheers, man. Thank you for coming on over. So I'm sure you guys have seen my thumbnail, and I'm talking about, again, Bardstown Fusion 7. Last time I touched this thing was July 28th, 30th, right around there. So it either is, no, it will be close to 3 months. We're days shy of 3 months since I last touched this. And when I did my review, I told you my wife found this bottle for me, and when she was on vacation and brought it back for me because she knows I have an affection for Bardstown. But lately, let's be honest, some of the expressions they put out, particularly in the Discovery series, have been lackluster, namely number 5, which was horrid. However, in its defense, I let it sit like 7, 8 months and went back and poured some of that. And that minerality on the Disco 5 went down enough to where I actually could pour a drink. And pretty much it's okay. It wasn't stellar, but thank goodness some of that dickled minerality went out of that Disco 5. So I'm able to drink it. So the problem with the Fusion 7 when I reviewed it in July was that it had that young note to it. And there is a good bit of Bardstown's juice that's young in there. Hold on. I think it was 3-year. Let me turn that on the side. Yeah. It's 3-year juice from Bardstown. So what are we talking? We're talking almost 70% of the juice is 3-year juice. So it gives you a little of that young note. You know, you can taste it in there. Not that it was absolutely horrible, but I just thought that at the time it really destroyed the finish on there. So today I was thinking, well, what the heck am I going to do? And I've got another bottle of it, believe it or not, sitting up there that I had a moment and forgot that I didn't have it. I was thinking of the 6. So when somebody said the 7's there, I said, yeah, pick that up for me. And it was really the 6 is what I was looking for because that would be the 5, the 6, and now this is 7. Anyway, I ended up with a second bottle, but that's fine. Neither here nor there. So I'm really hoping that this had opened up a bit to where the minerality, let me get rid of that. It's more of the youngness that is in the juice had, come through on there. So I wasn't excited over that. So I poured some that's sitting here in my glass, and no lie, I actually poured some before the stream and sat with it again to really get into it and experience it, and was like, okay. So I've made my final decision, but I got to say hi to Mark in there. What's up, brother? Thanks for
Mark
in there. Always good to see Mark and Whiskey Wars and Jim. Cheers.
I'll be here for a little while. Not long.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. You guys are on the wrong side of the world compared to me. It's close to midnight. Well, it is midnight.
Yeah. 12:09 by my count.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I poured this thing and the original nosing with the honey, that nut almond. I can't say it's almond now. As it sat, it's some kind of a nut along the line of an almond. And I actually went back and watched part of my review from July on this, just so I can refresh my memory as to, exactly what I was thinking at the time. And so I could sit with this thing today, and like I did, and poured some more. Hey, Michelle, cheers. Good to see you. Headed to
I
bed.
hope you have a good night, Michelle.
After
Good,
working
Michelle.
so hard.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Hydrate.
Andrew, cheers. And oh my gosh, look who is up.
Jack.
Hanging AZ. Oh my gosh.
AZ. Look at this.
I'm telling you what, Sean, do you feel honored?
I do, man.
I mean,
the whole crew is here.
I'm telling you. So anyway, I poured this thing, and I still get the honey on the nose. I get the nut. I get a little vanilla. It has that spice because it's a decent mash. It has a decent rye percentage in here. It's 49 proof. So what is this thing like? 98.5, 99 proof. It's teetering on that 99 proof. Why they just didn't make it even 100, I don't know, but that's fine. However, the nose is the nose. It is it's okay. It's not anything great
That's
whatsoever.
good,
The palate, it is sweet. It is not quite as viscous as I would have liked. That young note was still strong on it. Yeah, the rye spice is definite plus on this because I like the rye spice. I do. It's not. How do I say this? It doesn't drink hot, but on the finish when it comes back, it's that young note, and then you get the spice, but the spice changes to more of the bitter tannins from this particular one. So I would actually tell you or anybody else that's thinking about it, it's one of those things again where I'm going to say try before you buy.
Yeah.
But time in the bottle has done this some justice. But what also did it some justice, and everybody that knows me knows I don't always do this. However, take the straw, get yourself, and I'm not joking when I say 2 drops of water, honestly, 2 drops of water, and I got some improvement on that. And everybody that knows me knows I don't generally add water to whiskey. And I think I only did one. I did one review where I actually added water to it and was impressed with it. So I don't rule it out. Just as a general thing, I don't add water to my whiskey. I figured if I've got to water it down, there's a problem. But the 21-year-old Glengoyne Scotch is kind of changed my mind on that because 2 drops of water in that was the ticket. I mean, it just sent that thing right up to the top. Holy smokes. Are we living large? We got the dock here. Look at this.
We do.
Cheers, Rocky Mountains. Cheers.
And the puppy is famous because Adriana knows it. No, she knows your name, buddy. She knows your name.
Hey, she's the star. She knows it. Look, just a lapdog at heart.
That's it. That's what
it is. Just a lapdog at heart. But so, like I said, in general, I will drink this bottle. I think the Fusion is okay, but try before you buy. I'm sorry, and it's $69 is what Fusion is. When I first started buying them, they were right around $52, $54. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, $55. You know, just a few years ago. I want to say a few years ago, about 2 years. For what this juice is, you are pushing my boundaries at that $70 price tag now for the Fusion series. And even the Discovery series are getting up there. They're like $159, $169. And they're just not putting out the juice they were back in Disco 1, 2, 3, and even 4. I mean, Fusion 4 is really good. Isn't that right, Sean?
So actually, I think I have the. Let me double check. I think I have the 5. Let me.
Have the 4.
You're probably right.
I am. I watched the video. Remember?
Right.
And am I right?
You are right. It's Fusion 4.
You see, I went back and watched the video.
I do like this. I think even at 4, it was probably not worth the 60, 65 that it was. But better than so. I've had
older whiskey in the 4 than there is in the 7. Now, Will says the Disco 8 is fire. So when you say fire, Will, are you telling me that that's in a good way or fire that it's just hot?
Well, so we'll have a live update on that. Me and Jacob will be in Bardstown sipping on that here coming Saturday. So I may come home with a bottle. Yeah. But so the Fusion 4, was 40% 13-year-old Kentucky
See,
bourbon.
so you have 13-year-old juice in that.
Yeah, and I mean 40%. So not
the
quite
vast
half.
majority of this is 3-year-old juice.
Yeah.
So Will says, yes, definitely worth buying Disco 8. Well, unfortunately, Bardstown doesn't come out here anymore. In other words, they don't distribute out here in Nevada. So, yeah, that isn't, it's not in my future unless it pops up in Cali, or I may be going on a hunting trip this coming weekend. It's very possible. So I may be in a few states. So I never know what I'm going to get. There's a possibility that I may go on a 48-hour hunting trip. So
sounds good, man. Well, if that does not work out for you, Anthony, I have a feeling I'm probably going to be coming home with the bottle. So, maybe I'll make it out to Nevada and hand deliver you some, So.
Hey, if you make it out this way, I can always meet you somewhere on the strip and, exchange some samples. That'd be no problem.
Yes. We'll talk later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth it. But
definitely have to do some hand delivering.
Yeah, well, I can get it online, but you know what? Like I said, the prices they're asking for it now, Will, plus the shipping, to me, it's definitely not worth it. I believe you when you say it's good because I know your palate, I know what you drink, and so yeah, I can appreciate that. But when you're getting up, let's just say 180 and then shipping and everything, almost for the sake of argument, just under $200 for that bottle, they can stick a little lube on it and put it somewhere where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Now, Anthony, I don't know if you have a Sealbox membership or what the deal is, for you with that. But for me, like I thought about getting it that way. And then then Jackson Eve's coming to Kentucky. Then we're going to do that meetup. So just to save me the driving, I thought about getting it through Sealbox. And with them, like for your first order, which this would be mine, if it was like over $100, it was free shipping. So I don't know if that would help you at all. And it was $159.99 and then free shipping. So,
that makes it kind of interesting. But when I started buying the Discovery series, they were $120 a bottle.
Yeah, they used to be cheaper. Yeah,
they were a lot cheaper, and that was just 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, so when I got a Disco 3, that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, hanging AZ, that's always my fear. Waking up surrounded by Long Branch bottles. That means it was a really bad night.
Or you party with Matthew McConaughey. It's one of the two things happened. Yeah.
I'm sure I could entice him to a lot better whiskey than that.
Yeah,
what's up, Bill? Cheers.
I'm certain he drinks better stuff, I would imagine.
Hey, it's always great having you here, brother. The commentary back and forth is wonderful. John's here. I mean, the gang is here. Oh, look, Shelby, 1318. Cheers, brother. Sorry, I didn't mean to overlook you. I've tried the 6 and was good, but not worth the money to me. Chateau de la Bade, yeah. That's what I heard on that Chateau de la Bade. It's that minerality, or that just because of the Dickel juice in there just wasn't what it was. Holy smokes. Hey, there is somebody, just when you talk about people you meet from time to time, I started met her yesterday of all places. We were shopping for whiskey and she was looking for a Klein leash. Chris, was it 13, 14 on the Klein leash? I forget now. But anyway, so we just struck up a conversation. It turns out we have very common friends. And one of them was on Live Wire Whiskey tonight. So it's the 14. Okay. It was the 14. But anyway, Bobby Joe was on Live Wire Whiskey. And to bring this circle together, they're all affiliated with the rodeo, one way, shape, or form. So you talk about a small world. And so I told her, well, we were just got into a discussion about whiskey. And she's like, oh, you seem to know what you're saying. And I laugh and I go, yeah, no, I don't. But I told her about the channel and I told her, hey, you've got to come on. And then I noticed that she had subbed earlier today, and then boom, there she is. And so boom, here she is. And she has her own little group of ladies, and they get together once a month, and they're between Canada and the States, and they enjoy a good pour. They have a book they read, and they all have a whiskey of the month to which they sit down and enjoy together via a chat session like we use this. They use Zoom, but it's just such a small world when you start talking about whiskey and how it brings a group of people together, not only to share their opinions, but love for the craft that goes in to some of these spirits, be it Scotch, be it bourbon, be it Irish, single malt American. There's a common ground in there that we all share. But it was such a joy talking to her and just chatting. And she's here tonight. So really great to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. And like I told you, the link is posted. So you are always more than welcome to pop on. And whiskey lovers, cheers. Nice to see you. How's everything there in Belgium? Hope it's all wonderful.
Yeah. I just want to say cheers to Gert real quick. Don't get to see him real often, so always a treat to
it is, and it's morning for him, so he's just getting the coffee going.
There you go.
And I saw him pop in there just before I saw Chris her post. I'm like, oh my gosh, so it's really nice to see her pop in there, without a doubt. Oh yeah, she got the M&H Scotch. Got it at a really good price. And I told her, I said, I'm hearing very good things about it, more good than even mediocre. And she's just telling me, she goes, yep, that M&H was great. Well, good. That is good to know. And now I'll definitely know to make sure I look out for one of those myself, without a doubt. Yep. And just so you know, Chris, Will knows Kathy Jo very well. And he is what I call the better half of the main half of Women of Whiskey. So I told her about Women of Whiskey and that, she should go over there and watch them on Wednesday nights and subscribe to them. So, this is just such a small world that now all of a sudden that little connection turned out to be this. So yeah, it's just exciting. Anyway. So it looks like that's right. You did pick it up there. Okay. I thought you did get it while you were there, but I could not remember. Good.
Well, Anthony, I'm going to dip because it's time for me to probably sleep some.
Well, at least you get 5 hours.
Yeah, something like that. Somewhere around.
I can understand that without a doubt.
But cheers to you, buddy. Good to see you as always. Have a great night, everybody. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and support this great man. And
really appreciate it.
Have a good night. Cheers, Mike.
Yep.
As soon as I get here, you leave, Sean. I see what's up.
Well, that's what he said. He said, "Look, he's got to go. Mike's about to come because when Livewire ends,
I felt it. I felt a disturbance in the force.
In the force.
I think we're all wondering where Jim is.
Jim. Well, we're not going to say this is a family channel.
Yeah, it says we'll be right back, but I don't know that he will be back.
I'm not sure that that's the truth.
Anyway, cheers, fellas. We'll see you guys. Oh, who else we got?
Somebody's coming on.
Well,
it's spinning.
I think Doc's having a little bit. There
Brian
she is.
And Adriana. There we go.
Yeah.
What? The nuts in here.
Well, now you have much better company than me, Anthony. So now I can definitely go.
I'm just bummed no service.
Sean.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
I can bring him back on for a second.
Yes.
Come here,
one more before you go.
Come here.
Hi, service.
Come here, buddy.
Let's see what you got there. Slap shot.
You got
number
fan
7.
Oh, you got it too?
Yep.
Look at you.
Puppy.
Oh, we're having one more?
He's happy. Okay.
So
It's always time for one more.
What do you think about that so far, Brian? I mean,
Look at that face.
Hi. I regret buying it.
Look at that face.
mm-hmm.
You were
Like, if it was probably $30 cheaper, I would like it a whole lot more.
That's the point I was making.
He's
I
looking at
think they're
mommy
pricing
right now. That's
themselves
why
out
he's
at basically $70 for
I
a
can
bottle.
tell he's definitely looking at
And
the
especially for
mouth.
70% of it being
Did you get him
3-year
as a
juice.
puppy
And
or?
let me just say this: not
Yeah.
all 3-year juice is particularly bad.
I want to get a gray
However,
pebble puppy so bad.
This does have
It's my buddy.
a strong young
So
note
perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
on the back of the palate.
Mommy is doing charades behind the camera, so he's
So cute. Look
Look at that face.
Look at him. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm obsessed with gray pimples. Like they're the
Well,
best.
that's because now there's the center of attention, and that's all.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm taking over the show here.
No,
Look
you're
at
all
that
good.
face. There you are. Hi.
Yeah,
I love
Hi,
that
gorgeous.
big blue dog.
I don't think there's anyone here, even besides on stream or in the chat, that has a problem with dogs or
No,
animals
he's
in general.
perfect.
So
He's like literally perfect with his. Oh,
that's right. Look
so
at that
many of the
pose.
grays have like the creepy blue eyes that really creep the shit out of me. But like he's
Ears are
Did you
perfect
see that look
with
you
the
got,
dark eyes.
Adriana? Did you see the look like, excuse me?
Just saying, on gray dogs, it's really creepy to me. Like everybody wants the blue-eyed huskies and the blue-eyed, blue nose pit bulls or whatever, and I'm like, give me the gray pit bulls with the dark eyes because they're
Well,
so
when he was a puppy, he had those bright blue eyes.
Oh, really? And they
Yeah,
darken?
but then they changed as he got older. Yeah, so he had him until he was about 4 or 5 months old,
Look at
and
him
then they
so
started to change.
Oh, I love when pit bulls pant because it just looks like a big.
Yeah, then they
grin.
kind of went like this like steel gray, and then he finally went like a light brown.
Yeah. I love him. If he ever goes missing, I'm sorry, it was me. I'll give you my address. and you can
Okay,
steal him
Anthony,
back.
I'll let you get back to talking whiskey. Cheers, everybody! Again, you guys have a great night. We
Cheers.
will see you.
Sean.
See you, Sean.
Later.
Good hanging with you, bro.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody.
Cheers.
He's so cute.
But yeah, true, Brian. I don't quite regret getting it. However, it's just disappointing to where I've always liked the Bardstown expressions until basically the last year.
Yeah, I like this. I have the 6. I like the 6 better.
Okay,
the
see, I couldn't
fusion's
come across
ending,
the
right?
6. She
Fusion's
found the
gone.
7. Then I had a moment, forgot I had the 7, but I knew I had one of the recent ones. And I was like, okay, no, it was the 6 I got. I need the 7. Yeah, it's what happens when you get older. You just forget, right, Mike?
But
What?
the fusion's gone, right? Like fusion is no more.
I
After this.
Oh,
think
really?
the 8's the last one.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
8
think-
was the last one.
Yeah.
I think the 8's the last one, or going to be the last one. And then in the Discovery series, it's either 8 or 9. Bill, if you know, let me. Will,
Thanks,
excuse
Richie.
me, not Bill. I'm thinking of Bill Monolith, but
Oh,
Will,
yeah,
if you know,
Adriana.
let me know. But I know that it's ending. Those series
If I would
are
have
going
known you
to
were
end.
doing that, I would have poured some.
Yeah, well, I'm going to finish this, and I definitely will pour a scotch or something. But
Yeah, I figured I'd have one
Yeah,
for it.
see, this is the 6.
you got 2 of them?
I have a 6 and a 7.
Oh,
The only
That's the
fusion I
6.
have
It's
is
a
the
little.
4.
It's a whole lot lower than the 7 because I like it
Yeah.
a whole lot more.
Did you break
The
the
only
bottle?
fusion I have is the 4.
No, that's how it is. It's got a design on it.
yeah.
Oh,
The 9
okay.
is, according to Will Davalar.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen any Bardstown
But-
in person.
That one was my favorite.
Adriana, when you come out next
Don't tell
month,
me
you'll
that's
see
the
it.
5. Oh, no, that's
7.
the 7? Okay. Because that's
Out of the 3 of those. Now I had the 8, the Discovery 8 in DC. OH brought it, and that
Oh,
was
yeah?
that was better than all the ones
Oh,
I've.
dude, the Discovery 8 is in the running. If I can find a bottle, it'll be in the running for my favorite whiskey of the year.
Yeah, that's how we kicked off the night before we went to Jack Rose's. OH's pour of Discovery 8.
Oh, nice. That must have been awesome going to Jack Rose's.
Oh, it was
Adriana,
freaking
which
heaven.
Knob Creeks are going to be in your whiskey of the year?
Well, you picked up
all
a
of them.
store pick or something from them, right? Right, Brian?
Yeah, an old Forester.
Holy
Single barrel.
smokes, we got a
Holy
whack
shit,
attack here.
Jeffrey Wack
Whoa.
is back.
He rallied after watching
Oh,
them
are you
show
done
with
with
the
House
wife.
of Dragons?
It's what happens when you take a 15, 20-minute power nap.
Yeah, he's done.
No,
with House
he
of
went and watched TV
Dragons.
with his wife.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean
He's
you can't take a
good
power
husband.
nap.
That guy,
Good.
Jeffrey Wack's a good egg.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He is
Without a
definitely a good
doubt.
egg.
He's a good egg. I like
He's
that
good
guy.
peeps. Although I
I
cannot
trust
watch
him with
any
my
Game of
whiskey
Thrones.
collection.
Survived House of Dragons.
You survived. Yes, you did.
Dude, you watched 2 episodes of that shit.
What's funny is Nick and I were about to watch Andor, and then I realized it was almost 7 o'clock on a Sunday.
I'm sending him a message now, Anthony.
The dipshits were going on.
What's that?
I'm answering that right now.
Oh, okay.
And we got you to admit you had time.
Yeah, I'd already caved earlier because I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you were
I can
already
be
like, oh
around
yeah, I
again.
could be on. Oh, fuck.
It's like,
Hey, Jacob, cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you. When I open up that bottle, you'll have to be on with yours. So
Right.
just letting you know, you have
Yeah, I love the
fair
new hat,
warning.
Anthony. That's a good point. Hanging AZ said it.
Well,
hat.
unfortunately, hanging AZ's getting old, Mike. It's just happening to you, but I've had this hat on many streams.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's okay.
totally remember that now.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's not new. I just have a repertoire of hats, and it's getting to be that time of year where I can.
Yeah, you can't
can-
wear white after Labor Day. That's the
Oh, I
rule.
don't give a rat's butt about that.
Oh, okay. Good.
I'll wear them if I want. Yeah.
I can do what I wanna.
Wait, which one is House of Dragons? Is that
I think it's a prequel
Yeah.
series.
prequel to what?
Game of Thrones.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
That's why
I didn't
It
That's
has
okay.
Matt
It's that
Smith,
Game
who
of
was the
Thrones
11th
one.
Doctor, which is bizarre to me.
Like once the blonde girl stopped showing her boobies in Great Game of Thrones, I was like, what are we watching?
That's it.
No,
So,
I read the 1st
I'm
two
gonna-
books, hated it, would not
I'm
watch
going to
it.
put this thing
The
up
books?
Yeah,
and
some people
actually
read.
get something that doesn't have this young note on it. And since Adriana has Scotch, I don't have any problem in going over to Scotch. And being that Chris is probably still lurking in the background, I'll have to have a Scotch for her because I'm sure she's pouring the Scotch as she's listening to this.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so let me put this up. And oh, can you believe Port Charlotte is within my grasp already?
yeah. Will Dabbler, it wasn't so much about the books being slow, which they kind of were. It's just all the rape. Like, I just really is all of this necessary?
But you know
and
what?
like details.
I
Like,
haven't had for a while. Sorry, Adriana.
No,
I just
you're good.
realized you
I'm
got
just
your
ranting.
noise canceling headphones on too.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, you do. Well, it blended in with your hair so well. I just caught
Oh,
it
yeah.
because of the way you
I
turned
can't
your head.
afford Bose, so I
This
don't
was
have
my
one.
birthday present from Nick, and I'm obsessed with them.
Oh, she's
They're
got.
so comfy.
She poured the M&H. Okay, well, remember?
I can't afford
Oh,
Bose.
the Israeli
Oh.
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
haven't
she
tried
got that at a damn good price and got the last.
Some of us are
off.
poor, Adriana.
Yeah, I've
But-
just heard of it.
I'm gonna pour the Machier
Ooh.
Bay, and that's the
Ooh.
one I was telling her. I told her the story about Sugar Kitty, and he dropped off that sample and explained to me clean peat. So this is the Machier Bay, and
What is
wow,
clean Pete?
this
Hey,
is
we have a
real-
Kilhoman pick
yes.
out here. You got to
There
let
are-
me know if you want me to grab you one, Anthony. I'll get you one of the Kilhoman picks.
Who did it? Do you know?
Dave Co did it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What?
It's the largest liquor store in the world. It's got to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that means it's got to be good, but that's who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
What
Christine. Cheers.
What is clean peat?
Yes. So
Yeah, I'm curious.
Sugar Kitty was trying to explain to me when I was doing this peated journey, and he was telling me the difference in peat. Okay, I got it. But as we all know, depending upon where the peat is harvested from, it has a totally different flavor. And if Ken was in here, he's probably lurking, but I mean, I'm sure he'll chime in. But it gives everything a totally different flavor.
Okay.
So this is a non-age stated, but it's relatively clear because there's no color added. Okay, so almost all scotches, I don't want to say it's all pale, but it's very light in color. As we all know, it's the bourbon barrels that give it the color because it's aged in ex-bourbon barrels. Some are virgin oak, so they'll get them, but still they're aged like that. So anyway, it's very hard to understand something. So when you're on your first real either bourbon journey or you're on your scotch journey and you're trying to distinguish notes, so it's what you recognize and your brain recognizes when you take that in. It's what your olfactory goes, oh, that's butterscotch, or oh, that's this, oh, that's peaches, that's plums, that's dirty socks. Okay, whatever.
Right.
It's something that okay. I'm like, clean peat, there is no such thing as clean peat. It's always chewy and dirty and medicinal, iodine and band-aids. And what do you mean a clean peat? So he was in Vegas. And so, of course, he hand delivered me some samples. So I had no idea what he gave me. So I did a stream from Sugar Kitty and the samples he dropped off. Well, nice cork pop. And so I did them. And then one of the samples was this, and I noticed that it was quite pale in color. And when I nosed it, in the beginning did not get the maltiness that I get on single malt scotches. And the peat was very, very light. So I just got a very small amount of smoke when I did it. So I was like, well, is it a scotch? And I said, no, is it a finished bourbon? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Maybe it's an Irish. I mean, I totally did not know. This particular pour, when I first had it, it had me befuddled. I just could not figure out what the heck it was. So I sipped it. And I sat there for a moment and I'm like, what is this? And then, of course, I spoke and then I said, I got to have another sip of this. And I took another sip. And I'm like, this is a scotch. And then, of course, Sugar Kitty said, yes. And then he went and explained to me, did you notice the peat? Well, the second and then third sip, then the peat really shined through. But it was not like, let's put it this way, not like a Lagavulin peat, not like an Ardbeg peat, not like a Lafroig peat. More along the line of a Highland or a Highland Park peat. But a step up. Highland Park is a lot more subdued on a peat level.
Yeah.
But wow, this was and is an amazing pour. And I actually talked to Chris about it. I told her the story, and I particularly pointed this out. I said, wow. And she said she likes the Lafroig Select. And then once I found out she likes Lafroig, I said, hell, you can handle anything. If you like Lafroig, I said, that's the most medicinal. And I'm not going to say the peatiest, but it is the quintessential peat.
Does she prefer Lafroig over like Ardbeg?
No. From what I recall, no. But she only likes the Lafroig Select. So the 10 or the Carchus, she might not. She's laughing. But she's not against peat. She has nothing wrong with peat. And but we just got to talking. I mean, it was her experience, this, that, and the other. And like I said, she has some friends and they get together on a monthly basis and they have their pours and they all try to get the same scotch of the month. And if you can't, well, then you get what you can find. And finding that Kleinleach 14, she says she's a lightweight with peat. Yeah, we all were at one time. You will change, I guarantee it. But so they, like I said, they get together and they talk about their stuff, read their book, and then have their pours together. But this is how I learned what clean peat was from Sugar Kitty. Because unless you have somebody that takes you on that journey and breaks things down so you can understand it, it's hard. Is there
a difference in the process, like of how it's made? Or?
No, it's just in how they do it. I mean, when I say how they do it, yes, that would be a process. You're right, Doc. But It's just the way the peat is.
Okay.
I know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying, but no,
Yeah.
it's still basically you put the
It's just a
the
difference
grain
in
on
the
top,
peat that they are
peat goes in the
using.
bottom.
It's
It's
the same
smoke.
process, just different peat.
Yeah. Nothing's really changed.
Yeah.
Cheers, Big
That's
Vic.
so cool.
And it is. It's a great
Yeah.
pour. Now, when I nose the Kilhoman, I get the maltiness. I get the sweetness. I can smell the smoke on there. I can get the peat on it. But the very first time, so you see what he said about that? Just wait.
Offerman, really?
That's amazing. Hold on.
Oh, I want to try. If we could find that. Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah,
Do
the
you want
only
me to
really
get you
peaty
one,
ones I've had
Adriana?
are the Wee Beastie from Ardbeg and then the Lefroy 10. And I've
Adriana,
liked
do you
both of
want
them.
that?
Apparently, you haven't watched my
Yeah.
review.
I can
No.
get it, Adriana.
How much
That's
is
it. This is the one he's talking about.
Yeah. Do you love it?
I am not impressed one bit.
Really? Compared to the previous
Oh, the Guinness,
level of
to me,
offer? Yeah.
the Guinness wins hands down. But I'm giving this a
Really?
fair shake, and I'm going to revisit it
It did
again
smell.
after it has a chance to open up a little bit and see what
Mhm.
it's like. But my opinion is the barrel char is really prominent in here, and it
It's
gives
interesting
it.
because I've heard really good things about the new one.
Well, I
Same.
did too, but
It's funny
I'm.
because I like the Guinness version, but it's also
This is
kind of
not the
mild
Guinness.
to me. Like I wish it was more punchy. So I
Well,
wonder for me, I might like this heavy char one because it sounds like maybe that char might make it more punchy.
so almost all of them will have a brininess to it, Chris. My opinion. Will chime in there on her question, but the Australians are here too. Yeah, it's not always the same. Ken just jumped right in there. I knew when he'd
Yes,
see
yeah.
that if Will didn't do it, he would. So
I can get it for
all of
$94
it
bucks,
is different,
Adriana.
but this one here is the traditional. It tasted just like a Lagavulin. The traditional flavors. It was there as far as the peat goes. But when I got into it on the finish, particularly when see and look at there, and
That's
to
so
me,
funny.
yeah, that's way better than what this is right now.
I
So
didn't love the Guinness one.
I even have a backup for the Guinness one. This with that heavy barrel char just did not appeal to me. Now, like I said, I'm giving it a chance to open up. I even drank this thing way past the shoulder because I really want to give it a fair shake. But at this particular point in time, I'm not going to run out and buy a bottle. Particularly right now here, they're going for $100. I didn't spend that on this, but
Yeah.
I don't think that it really, honestly, would be worth $100 right now to me on my palate and what I got out of it. So I'm not frou-frouing it, or I'm not turning it down right now. Let's say that I won't go back to it. I'm going to give it some time, let it really open up. I'll probably have a pour or two out of it here over the next 2 weeks, just to get back into it and really see if the
Yeah.
experience is
Yeah.
me before when I go back for my revisit and I redo it just like I did the Fusion 7 and decide yay or nay, fine.
Mhm,
But right
mhm.
now, I'm just not impressed with it. And at the price point, I'm sorry, I just don't think it's worth the money right now. My
What's
opinion.
the proof on it?
46.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, 46. So that's the plus. It's 46. at
I love that.
least.
That's Scotch is such a different world. When
Well,
46% is like
oh
that.
yeah, 40. If you gave me a whiskey 46%, I would say, really? Oh, a
Yeah.
bourbon. Excuse me. Let me just say a
Yeah. If you gave
bourbon.
me a bourbon and was like, it's 46%, I'd be like,
Is that all?
what is it,
Yeah,
basil Hayden?
Where's the rest
exactly.
of it?
So, but like I said, I like Lagavulin. I like my 16. I like my 12-year. I like my 8-year. I like my 9-year. I've got a limited edition distillers release Lagavulin. They're great. So I guess I'm just a bit disappointed in this one, but it deserves a fair shake and some time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's fair. So often it comes off so different
I
when
don't
you've
think he
given it
is.
some time.
I'm just leaving it there.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
He's
he reclined, and that was
he's
it.
taking a nap with Adam.
I'm pretty sure he's
Hopefully
not
he's not on
coming
the
back.
floor.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he set an alarm so he gets to work on time.
Oh, dude, I hate it when I make people not go to work on Livewire.
Mhm.
Oh,
I feel like that's like a bar of success for Livewire. It's like a measurement for you. I mean, what?
I mean, there's a little bit of pride in it, but also a little bit of I feel bad,
Yeah.
but more pride, but still feel good.
Can you being a plant matter was very dependent.
see, it all the process is just a little
So
different. And
is
it
that
has to, go ahead. Sorry, Doc.
yeah? So is that what differentiates the clean peat versus other peat? Like a difference in the plant matter that decomposed to make that peat
Mhm.
that
And
gives it
also,
maybe like a
yeah,
cleaner taste?
and where it's at. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the location.
Yeah.
I call it
Yeah. Yeah. It
location.
makes yeah. Yeah, well, I'm just thinking that like that maybe different locations might have like different plants that decompose to make that peat, and maybe I'm just confused about the term clean. I guess stuck on that. Uh, and I tried googling it, and instead I just got like methods for cleaning peat for like other things, which apparently is a thing to do. So it wasn't very helpful.
So yeah, fermentation, the stills, and the whole process. It's in how everything's done. But peat is very different depending upon where it is,
Hmm.
what they
Hmm.
do with it, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the same. Lowlands, highlands, so on and so forth. It's all different. I mean, it's
Yeah.
actually very complex. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how different of I mean, even like types of smokiness that you can get from a peated whiskey, but just like flavor profiles that you can get from peated whiskeys. Like it's not all campfire smoke or barbecue smoke
correct.
or,
And this is what
seaside
this
kind of
is not
thing.
it.
Like,
This is
yeah,
not. No, this is not
yeah,
it.
that is
I
cool.
think.
Like, I mean, the difference between Ardbeg and Lafroy, just that,
Oh, there.
which I believe are both
That's
I
left
love.
side, right side
Yeah,
is
like
what I call
they're
it.
so different. And I feel like most of us find Ardbeg much more approachable. I like Lafroig. Love Ardbeg. Like, I feel like that's a common approach for peated whiskeys.
Hmm.
So it's like, but I believe those are both Islas, right? So it's like, then if you take into account totally different regions of peat, you're gonna get
Hmm.
crazy different profiles. So I don't know. Peated is kind of cool. It's a cool process.
It is. It is good. Once you learn about it, you experience it, experience different companies and the way their peat is and how they malt their barley with it, their
Hmm.
process, and understand it.
Hmm.
I get the smokiness. I'm still getting it, and I just enjoy it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like I don't know. I I do like some peat that you can chew, but yet
Hmm.
I like
Yeah.
this also. It has a nice. I keep going back to the term clean, but it has a nice clean. But the peat is still there. It has a nice viscosity. It has a good finish on it. The sweetness kind of hangs around. It just doesn't disappear mid palate.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's still there.
Yeah.
And give it a minute after you have sipped it and really let the finish develop. it seems to come back a little bit, and you get it again with that just a slight bit of sweetness, the caress of the smoke, and then the peat comes back.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That
love that kickback of peat. Like, I feel like that is such a
that's
cool
what I'm
thing of
getting right
peated
now.
whiskeys where it's like
Exactly. And
you think it's done and then you
it's
sit there
not.
for a bit and it's like, oh, hey, I'm still getting this like new This is a really cool comment. This idea, the
Mhm.
top layers have a lot more grass. That makes sense. The more recent decomposition, smoky, clean flavor. And then the lower layers, a lot more earth, ash, dirty style. Like that makes a lot of sense to me.
Mhm.
And I wonder, yeah, like how much is it of, they have their areas that they dig up for their peat and like
Mhm.
the differences between the layers of peat and what they use for each kind of thing. That's a cool concept. And like, I wonder how much that goes into it. Like, do they aim for different layers for their different flavor profiles that they're going for?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just, but it's amazing that you would think peat
I'm
is
with him.
peat. You would think peat is peat, but each one of these distilleries and their processes really change it.
Mm-hmm.
So Lagavulin, Kilhoman, Brooklady, Ardbeg, Bunnahabhain, Highland Park. I mean, come on. Like I said, people say Pete's Pete. Yes and no.
And vary a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. But no, it's not. There's a lot more to it. And then when you break it down and you get people in here and, using, Ken as an example, Will in here, Bill and stuff like that, that have an understanding and can elaborate a little further and get us some clarity. And particularly for the people that are just kind of lurking in chat, that really, makes a difference and helps everybody understand.
I'm super jealous of John Krantz. I had a sample of that via the Whiskey Crusaders and was
The Highland Park 18.
yes, so good.
Yes.
So good.
Oh, look, you got the Caribbean
Ooh,
Reserve.
nice. Caribbean Reserve.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. People said it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that bottle.
Yeah, Bourbon Bites had it recently. He did it like a Glenlivet flight, and he really liked the Caribbean Reserve a lot more than
Yeah,
he expected.
at Christmas I got the taster set.
That's what he
out of all
did.
out of all of them, that was my favorite.
Yeah, nice. I'm excited to try that.
Oh, Chris, that was the High West double rye finished in peated Scotch barrels.
Oh. You need the High West campfire then.
I'm gonna jet you guys. Thank you guys so much. Love you, Anthony. See you, Adriana.
Are you
See you,
going to
Brian.
bed, Mike?
See you, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a huge day tomorrow. I got to go buy
Yes,
Rubicon.
yes. Good luck.
Yes.
Do all that so you can get your Jeep.
That's right.
I need to do my stuff so I can get my Rubicon. So
yes,
But more
you
importantly
do.
to me, you said you were coming to Schlemmer if you get it, so I hope to see you.
yeah, that too. That too.
Yeah.
All right. See you, Brian.
So,
see you, Adriana.
Chris,
See you, bud.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mike. So, Chris, it was this one, the double rye High West, and
That was
then
a rye.
it's finished in the
Other way.
Oh,
Upside down.
hold on. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's backwards on the camera. It's fine for me, but you guys are seeing it the wrong way. Sorry. But anyway.
No, we see it right.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Here.
Yeah, you just got to tilt it the other way.
Yep.
The other way.
You're tilting it
Opposite.
upside down again.
Boom.
There you go.
You got it? There we go.
Yep, barrel type, peated Scotch.
Yep. There you go.
9 months.
Perfect. So this is the one that she tried, and I let her try the double rye first that's not peated. And then I didn't tell her what this would be. And I said, now tell me what you think, because I don't want to give you an idea until you get a chance to try it. And I knew she liked peat because she said she had the Lafroig Select. So I knew it wasn't going to make her want to drag her tongue across the tile floor.
Right.
But
I mean, it is a rye, so.
Oh, it's a rye, but she liked it. I know you don't like rye, but yeah, it was
not even finished in peat.
Mhm.
No, Nick has a rendezvous rye that's finished in peated, and it is not for me. But I love their campfire. Lime Burners whiskey here.
Yeah, I'm glad I stumbled upon that campfire. It's delicious. Like I've already put a dent in it. I'm gonna have to put it in
I
the back of the
love
shelf.
that you like the campfire. The campfire is my favorite
But see,
high-res
if I
product.
had not ventured into Scotch before that,
Yeah,
I would have bought it and went, "Oh my god, I hate this."
yeah, it is a weird.
Because
It's
see, early
actually
in my
really cool because
early when I was probably 22 or 23, somebody gave me something, and I don't know what it is,
yeah,
and I don't know that person to this day, but it was the peatiest thing, and I went, "Oh my god, that's awful." And for 20 odd years, I stayed away because I was like, "That stuff is awful."
They've just, as of last year, started putting out their own distillate. I live like 45 minutes away from them.
I was going to say, I thought that just happened recently.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
stopped
As of, I think
forcing,
it was
and their
last
stuff
year.
has come of age.
Yeah, I think as of last year, or maybe the year before. No, I think it was last year that they started. The Midwinters is fully their own distillate. I think the Rendezvous and Double Rye are still transitioning. But yeah, IG live images backwards. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Now
how
you're
it
gonna
is.
make me pay attention.
Yeah, on Instagram, it's always backwards.
Yeah, I don't like Instagram lives because you can't do other things on your phone.
No,
And
you're
that's
stuck. Like if
you're
you're watching it,
dedicated to just the thing.
you're dedicated to the live, or you got to leave and come back, leave and come back.
Yeah. If I'm on the chat, I am doing other things like at the
Yep.
same time. So it
All
doesn't
right,
work for me
Chris.
well.
Yes, you do. I understand, but
Ooh,
I don't.
yeah.
I'm not more.
Good
I
luck.
go to work until 2 in the afternoon. So, cheers.
Nice.
Thank you for stopping on, and don't forget about Women of Whiskey, and then also make sure you write down for
Yes.
Whiskey Mountains, and you go and subscribe to her. She
Yeah.
really has some great reviews, and she's close to us. She's just up there in Salt Lake, and she really knows her stuff when it comes to breaking down all the technical stuff. You have to go in there, Chris, and look at some of her reviews,
Yeah, get nerdy.
particularly when it talked about the esters in whiskey. I love that one. So
That one was
thank
fun.
you for popping on, Chris. You're always welcome. Feel free. Good night and cheers.
Good night, Chris. That one was fun where I made models of like the esters using like sticks and rocks that I found during my hike, and I like put it together. I was like, oh, this would be perfect. I can like show what a micelle is with these.
Well, what was funny is like I said, her and I were just struck up a conversation because she was looking for the Klein leash, and I said, oh, I think I saw it over here. Well, it wasn't. It was Glen Kinchy, but I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I said, but I thought it was here, but it didn't. So I gave her a few more recommendations, and no one really had it. But we end up working for the same school district, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. She's a teacher. My wife's a teacher. And so,
Yeah.
and Chris, she's at a different elementary school, of course, but still, it's just,
That's so cool.
it is. It was really nice
It
meeting her.
is.
She's a really nice lady. And her sons have no problem in raising a glass either with her. So I was like, boom, perfect. Yeah. Very nice lady. Very nice lady.
That is
Vic's
super
still
cool.
burning the oil.
I thought Vic had to work
kidding.
tomorrow.
I know. He was giving me a hard time earlier because I'm trying to kill this bug.
Oh, good. Richie Z posted your link. Good.
Thanks,
Thank
Richie
you.
Z. I was hoping to film stuff while camping the other day.
Well, that's right. You went camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And
I didn't end up filming, and it was so windy, and also it was all last minute because it was with Nick's work, so it was
Chris.
just too many other people around.
hey, Chris.
Mine doesn't load.
We
as
definitely
fast
have the
for some
Australians represented with Ken and now Chris.
reason. There we go. What's up, Chris?
Ogre mug in hand.
That's a
This
big
is
cup
my
of
mug.
Oh
coffee.
yeah, you got the huge mug.
It's my ogre chalice.
Mhm.
I've only just woken up about an hour ago from finishing night shift. I have my sister here, and she just left, and I'm finally getting my coffee.
Ugh.
I
That sucks,
understand.
Vic.
Do you have night shift all week or? Like every
Just
week?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it was the hardest night shifts I've done because I haven't done night shift in
So long.
2.5 months.
Mm.
Yeah.
So my
That's
body,
brutal.
after relaxing and being on the one sort of time zone pattern-y sort of thing for 3 months.
Yeah. That's the
Did not
thing.
want
Not only have you
did
not been on
not
night
want-
shift for a few months, you've been in a totally different time zone for like a month and then coming back.
Oh,
shortly
Yeah, well,
after
that's
going.
where
sorry
I've
to hear
got to
that, Ken.
Sorry, Ken.
Again. Wow.
I know. I hope it
Hope
feels
it's
go
better.
nothing,
and finish
nothing bad.
that tonight.
I'm excited for
Ken.
Ken's fundraiser stream on Saturday.
Mm.
That'll be good. I'm gonna try and make bits of that at least.
Yeah, well, I might have a look to see what I've got lying around over in the States that I can donate in for him.
Woo, buddy.
You're
That'll be
probably
good.
right. Well, I just figured out what you were talking about, thinking of your setup at home. Yeah. No. Do not do that.
A ladder.
I-
I've always wanted though that like library, like Beauty and the Beast library with the
Yeah,
ladder thing that
That's
like
how Jack
goes.
Rose is set up.
Oh, I love. There's a liquor lineup. One of the liquor lineups in Vegas, near Vegas,
Mhm.
it has the ladder. You're not allowed to go on it, which would be way better. But like,
I have.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so
it's
jealous.
it's down the street from my house.
Oh,
Yeah, that one that I was with your husband.
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
Ah, I love
Matter of
that.
fact,
Like,
I think Chris
we.
pushed it out of his way once.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
nice. When we own a house, that is very
Oh,
much
it's liquor
something I'm going to
lineup.
build into
Yeah.
it. Like, I
Like
will
the
be
Willy
building.
Wonka scene when you kick the ladder and slide across.
Yes, exactly. Like that's all I want. I want like a house where I have a room that has like a bunch of whiskey and a bunch of books, and I'll do the built-in shelves myself, and I'll put in the ladder where it
So you do
rolls
a shelf
across.
of whiskey, a shelf of books, a shelf of whiskey, a shelf of
Don't,
books.
don't you need a ladder for the top shelf anyway, Adriana?
I should, but I have a nick instead, and then
Oh,
we put the rise on the top because I never want to reach those anyway. So it's fine.
I was going to say, no, you don't need a ladder. You've got a neck.
Exactly. That's what I have a nick for. Like, that's what you get.
I don't need a gun. I've got a donk.
That's it.
This will be the. I'm not going to open this tonight, but I had.
Pindarin.
Yes.
Pindarin.
Yes. So Jack, aka Jacob, he hand delivered me a flight. This was in there, but of course you couldn't get it because it was a limited release. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and guess what popped up at Liquor Lineup?
Nice.
I know, finished in tawny port cask, 6-year-old, 59.59 ABV.
Ooh. Wow. Is that
I
peated
know.
or?
I know. And the
Yeah.
bad thing about it is, I walked past this last week. Just
What?
didn't sink in.
Yeah.
When I was there Saturday, I looked at it, and then the gears meshed, and then I went, "Oh my gosh!" So I snapped a picture, sent it to Jacob, and I said, "Is this the one I had that you dropped off for the flight?" And he goes, "Yes. Where did you find that?" And I go, "That's all I want to know." So I went back and bought it.
That's okay. We've got our first bottle to bring over next year.
Then-
Boy.
Oh, you got that Bushmills. Yeah,
the Causeway, the Burgundy cast.
I was gonna say that's
nice.
the wine one. Yeah.
You got
I
to
think-
check the color out on this.
I finally
Look at that
thing
color.
is so dark. Well, look at this. Very similar, but this is Texas, but this is one that I haven't been able to find in a dog's age. The Iron Root Harbinger, the 57.5. At one time you could fall over it on the shelf. And then once things started to get popular and people talked about it, I couldn't find it. So Big Vic gave me a sample when he was here last month. And I'm like, damn. And then Saturday, I was just out and about for a little bit and boom. I'm like, holy smokes. I cannot believe it. So picked up my little.
I was actually just reading everything on the front of this for the first chance to really sit down and have a proper read of this bottle. and it's actually like the Bushmills 10-year, which is finished in Oloroso sherry and bourbon casks first, and then it's second aged in Burgundy casks. It's cask strength, so at 56%.
Mhm.
56.
That's my last pour of the night.
51.8, so it's just under 104
Nice.
proof.
Do you like that one?
Oh,
Ryan?
I love it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How does it compare? So obviously it's much different and heavier peat than the campfire, but like
Oh yeah.
preference wise, what would you say? Like which would you prefer? Just
Like
honestly.
the heavy peated stuff, I prefer actually sitting when I'm sitting next to the campfire.
Yeah.
But the campfire, it does. They're
It's
different.
different. It is
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I
it is
can't
different. 'Cause it is
say
a
like I
blend.
like one or the
It's
better.
not just a peated scotch. The campfire is a peated scotch, bourbon, and rye, like all
Yeah.
blended, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? So like
So it's completely
it is
different.
different. But
Like, see, like I don't get iodine. My wife gets the iodine, but she likes it too. And like,
oh, see,
I
for
was
me,
so
that's the
surprised.
thing. I like Lafroig, but I like Ardbeg more because the iodine and like sea
Yeah. I don't get any
brininess
iodine at all.
totally comes through for me on the Lafroig. Yeah, see, I get the iodine, the
I
Band-Aid.
get the
I
C,
don't
and I got
dislike it.
a Clonakilty Irish. The C came through on that one, and I loved it.
See, you get that nice little saltiness on this
Yeah.
Kilhoman also on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I love that salty sea
That
taste.
brine.
It just it reminds me. The beach I went to was you had to go through a marsh to get to it, and it reminds me of that drive. So it connects to that memory in my brain
See,
that I'm on vacation. This is a good time.
yeah, that makes sense. It's funny because like I'm the same with certain Lafroigs. I've only owned Lafroig 10, but I've had some samples of others. And certain ones of those, I've gotten like more of that sea air braininess. And that part I really enjoy about Lafroig. And that's where it like can take the edge. Though I think overall in general, I still prefer Ardbeg. But like I love that sea brininess. It's just the iodine tar part of Lafroig that, especially just like the Lafroig 10,
Yeah.
that just doesn't cut it. Like it's
See,
okay.
I've only
I'll
had the
drink it.
Lafroig 10 and the Wee Beastie from Ardbeg, so those are my two
Oh, you
references.
need some Ardbeg
But like I
Oogie.
don't get any iodine. My wife did, but I do not. I don't smell it. I don't taste it. No iodine at all.
So funny. I'm gonna need you to go grab a bottle of iodine, smell that, and then smell your
Yeah, try to find a bottle of iodine or methylate or mercurochrome.
Yeah.
I think
If
I've got
you
some.
you want to see really good reactions to Scotch, you've got to go back onto Scotch Down Under stream from a couple of weeks ago on the Monday morning when we were in Texas and we went to
Whiskey Crusaders.
With the Crusader, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, Lil's face was precious.
Whiskey Crusaders is who I've gotten amazing samples of Lafroig from, and another one I was mentioning earlier, I forget now. But
Well,
like,
anyone who
all my
complains
best
about
Scotch samples.
anyone who complains about having floor whiskey cannot complain. 99% of Matt's whiskey is floor whiskey because he just has that much.
So much. He has so much. Like he probably also has more shelving than most of us for whiskeys, but he's got so
but
much.
he's 90% of it's still on the floor in boxes, and
Yeah.
yet he knows where most of it is.
That's
just
what's amazing.
phenomenal.
If you watch it, even just watching their live stream, if somebody brings something up, he's like, "Let me grab that. I think it's over here."
Yeah, well, he was still going. He was going through boxes and looking for certain things because he had moved some things around. And he's going, "Oh, that's where that is. I've been wondering where that was." And then, "Oh, I've got a backup of that." Oh.
Like, how the fuck? No,
Like, Matt,
he's amazing.
I have enough trouble with what I've got, and since we came home and I moved things around to fit in stuff and the stuff that I'm sending over, I don't know where anything is, so I don't know how Matt does it with 3,000 whiskeys.
I only own like 70 bottles, and I don't know what the fuck I own.
Well, Brian, just basically think of what was on the walls downstairs on the main bar at Jack Rose.
Yeah.
And that is what Matt has through his house.
Holy cow. So that's heaven number 2.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got like one of the biggest collections. I mean, it's like
Wow.
the second biggest in Texas, I think, and that's only because like fucking Whiskey Tribe is in Texas. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. So yeah, I just dropped their link for anybody who hasn't heard of them and enjoys Scotch. And I mean, like Scotch is very much their focus.
And don't forget the
But
bacon.
they drink everything. Liqueurs.
We got to catch up
overview
with
everything.
Sarah at least.
Oh, you did? Good.
Yeah, we had dinner with Matt and with Will and Sarah before we
Cool,
went over
good.
Matt's for the stream, and
Yeah.
because Sarah's still on a hiatus from drinking because of health, so she's
Yeah.
we
That's
made
good
sure
that you got
we caught
to.
up for dinner.
Yeah, that's good that you got to meet up with. I would love to like meet up with them in person. They're really awesome people.
They are good
So-
people. In Richie's
Well,
age,
Matt-
you won't be disappointed.
Matt and I have known each other probably for
Hey, well.
4.5 years, 5 years, and it's the first time that
Wow.
we've gotten to meet. So,
Wow. Yeah, isn't
all
that
right, well,
crazy?
Good night.
That's crazy.
see, Will,
Hey,
well-
Will.
Cheers.
give that wife of yours a hug for me.
Yeah, hopefully she's gonna be feeling okay tomorrow.
Oh, did she have a bit of a big one this evening, did she?
Rompope, do they? Vic, do
Mhm.
they really drink rompope? Because that would be funny to watch.
Vic needs
I've
to go
never
to
had
bed.
rompope.
So when are you getting together with Vic to do that 1795 tasting?
Yeah, I need to.
Mm.
I just drink it before that.
But we were discussing that last night in Vic's after party.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, Vic, text me. Let's plan that. That would be fun. As I'm still trying to get that bug.
Yeah, he's really
mean-
good, huh, John? I mean, as far as what you see when we watch him on stream to in person, that's him.
Yeah. And it's amazing how many whiskeys we had online with him on their stream. I mean,
Oh, it
it was
was
3 hours of
covered.
streaming, and we probably
Covered.
did more than probably 30 whiskeys, I think.
Mhm.
Good
Because
God.
it's all sommelier pours, so all really small. So you got the taste.
Yeah,
for it,
yeah,
but it
just to get a taste,
not,
but yeah.
not to sit down and analyze. It was more just for basically trying to find stuff which Lil would like. Whereas
Well,
I've
you
had
were at
yeah.
the, you were at
More
the
to big.
buffet of buffets, Chris. You had no, yeah, that was the best time
That's
to do
it.
it.
Yeah, and I mean, like I basically have had more experience with single malts from Scotland than Lil, because Lil's just always been no Scotch, because she's had bad experience on Scotch with peated and everything.
Oh yeah,
So.
I can understand that. I can understand.
But those signatories that we tried at Mirage, which come out at the end of the year, they were absolutely phenomenal.
13, 18 Shelby. I'll raise my hand too. I have, well, yeah, no, I lied. I say, no, I don't have any on the floor today. Yes, I do.
I had to go out and buy a new shelf last week. I just haven't put it up yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
It-
It's
I'm
nonstop.
gonna wonder how you're going to be when you're videoing Mount Vernon with those fire heated stills, and you're going to be wanting to have a nice peated whiskey or something,
Yeah,
right?
I'm looking
So-
forward to that.
That's
Actually,
a
I've got to
good
say,
idea, Adriana.
Do I?
I've got to say, John,
The closet.
Yep.
Mhm.
Literally got rid of a bunch of bed sheets and towels.
Isn't
And
it amazing though
rearrange
how
things
much you accumulate
for
and you don't use them?
Of bed
Honestly.
sheets and towels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There were
like,
so many sets where I was like, I don't know what this sheet goes to. Like, there's
why do we
no
still
matching
have
stuff. I didn't buy this. I don't know.
I have
I
two
would never
sets.
buy this color. Like,
I have 2 sets of sheets. One's on the bed, one's in the closet. One
yeah.
comes
Well,
off
I've
the
got
bed,
2
next one
for
goes
our
on, and then
bed.
I wash it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
now have 2 for our
But
bed
towels,
and
I
1
have.
for
I don't know how many
guest
towels
bed.
I have in this fucking house. Jesus.
Our guest bed is an air mattress that has a
Mm-hmm.
leak in it, so don't stay with us.
So what you're telling me is
Sleeping
bring
on the
my
floor.
bring my
You
air
can get
mattress
that
when I
fixed
come
by
over.
next
God,
year, Adriana.
Yeah, I need to replace my air. The problem is my best friend is Indian, and she's the only person who ever comes over and stays over. And back in India, she slept on the floor, so she is totally fine with my air mattress and never complains. So I'm constantly like, it can wait. It's fine. Schumann is
Well,
fine.
Lil's
It's good.
planning on adding Salt Lake to next year.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
I'll try to.
before we get
I'm
there,
looking in my current space of like, okay.
before we get there may be a delivery that will come to your house then.
Okay.
hey, 1318 Shelby, don't worry, I'll be your sponsor and you can be mine.
Yeah.
I've got stuff on the floor, and like I said, I'm not ashamed of it. I'll raise my hand. It's here. But
Yeah,
it's
I've
within reach.
got a few things.
Yeah,
on the floor.
That's why it's there. It's something.
Even with all this cupboard space in this room, it's sort of like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is
Hey,
my
before I met
office
all you
and my
people on
workspace and
Whiskey
my
Tube,
clothes.
that barrel right there held everything I held. Half a barrel held everything I owned. And then I met you guys, and I had to buy shelves and all.
Welcome. That's how it
Mhm.
goes. That is.
Well,
Now
when
you
I
have a
started,
channel.
Now I'm in the cult, and I'm buying whiskey.
Nothing
when
to
I
the cult.
started our trips over to the US in 2010, that cupboard there was only the top shelf, and it only had 5 bottles in it. That was my whiskey collection. Now it's keeps giving birth to new cabinets.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of like I basically sit there and go, it's a gremlin. You know, don't get them wet.
Mm-hmm.
And you crack a bottle and suddenly it gives birth to another 4 or 5. So
It happens.
So I had to pull all of my Yellowstones, my Evan Williams, all my Starwoods and Old Foresters are all out now on a bookshelf here. So to get room, because this poor cupboard was starting to get a little bit over
full, overweight.
It was starting to, in some ways, even with timber shelving, it was starting to look like Adam's shelf the other month when it was starting to bow.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I came home and went, that looks like that's starting to bow. We better pull bottles out.
Yeah.
Yep. Without a doubt. I mean, it happens. That's why I went to the industrial shelves. They say they hold 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, well,
I know they're not going to
yeah,
anytime soon. Yeah, I've got some room on the very bottom, and I've got room on the very top, and I'm constantly rearranging and moving things and going, oh, I forgot about this. Let me bring that up front so I can reach and grab and have a pour out of that from time to time, because it gets to the back, it gets pushed to the side, and
right.
you have so many other ones. It's like, oh, okay. For instance, Audrey, oh, look at this Knob Creek. I forgot about this one. Let me bring this up. Just because she's here, I know she likes Knob Creek. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I gotta get that.
How's your hazmat 4 Roses going, Adriana?
Oh, I mean, we've got it there. That is being saved for like a let's get drunk night, because that is some hazmat stuff. Oh, sorry, the 4 Roses. I'm thinking of the ECVP left.
Yeah, no, that's what's in that bottle.
Yeah. That's what I'm. Yeah.
See,
Like,
so it's good,
saved.
Chris. He can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, no, I know now.
It's the leftover of what I couldn't bring home of the Bourbon Ballers hazmat ECBP.
Yeah,
that stuff is delicious.
And after the bottle share, the only thing that I had to put it in for Adriana was a 4 Roses single barrel bottle.
Yep.
one of the picks, which Ruben.
Yeah,
brought along.
that Ruben had brought, and we did finish all of the. He brought like 3 to be finished, and they all got.
Yeah, I
finished.
think there's some really good video footage of Old Man Joe sculling the last one of them.
That makes sense. Yeah, he was going to town. That was fun.
Dude, that baller pick is
I hear
so
it's
good.
solid.
It doesn't
like I
take its
tasted it and I
fruits.
immediately put it back. I was like, put that in the back. That'll be for a special day.
That is,
Mhm.
exactly. That's why I'm
Because
like,
you
that
also
is for a
brought
night to
home.
get crunk on.
You also brought home half a bottle of Joseph Brazo's.
Yes,
Craig, which
that
he brought.
ECBP. Yeah, Washington pick. Yeah, that one is delicious. That one's almost done.
Yeah, I've got a couple of samples which I brought home.
Yeah, that one's like on our table is like a bottle to.
That's the best Blantons I've ever
take in
had.
and enjoy. What is?
Blanton's.
Where is it a pick from?
Oh, that's
Jack
the
Rose.
Jack Rose
Jack
one.
Rose,
Yeah.
nice.
You showed me that.
The guy in the corner down there.
Yeah, it kind of got picked by people who have drunk a hell of a lot of Blantons over the years.
Looking to see if it's sold in Utah.
And Brian got his A stopper.
I did.
Oh.
I'm not trying to spell Blanton's. My initials are BAN, so that's what I was trying to spell.
That makes sense. I can check and see which ours is. If it's one of those initials. Our current one. We have an N, a letter N. Do you need that?
No, I have it.
Oh, okay.
I'm good. They brought me an A from Australia, which we laughed because we're like, we didn't know what this one was. So when we opened it, it was like, oh, if that's an A, that'd be really funny because they carried one all the way from Australia to give to me. But this one's a T. So.
Yeah, because we said that we had a few. I don't think you can see down in there, but this bag is 1/3 full of
horsey caps.
We can actually spell Blantons about 5 times with the number of stoppers that we have in here.
Oh my god! Yeah. I can only imagine. There we go.
He doesn't go through Blanton's now like he used to.
Yeah.
So, Richie, for me, my next bottle that I'm probably going to get is going to be another Ardbeg 10 to replace the one that I have about that much left in. And I'm hearing they're going to put Oogie on sale for about $89. Ooh. So I may pick that one up.
That's so funny because I was just thinking my 2 would be an Oogie because we're almost out of our Oogie. And the ECBP C922 as soon as it's in the warehouse here.
Talking about that 922.
I'm just amazed I freaking found one in ABC, Virginia, and all you guys can't find it yet. I walked in and there was 3 sitting there, but I could only buy one.
It's been sitting in the warehouse here. And
I've turned down
waiting for it to drop.
I've turned down A, B, and C this year.
The A was good. The B, I totally could skip.
You know what? It's one of those things where it's just I just didn't want it. You know, I've got the C921, and that was the best one from last year. And so I have one opened and I got 2 backups.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But the second backup to the backup, the backup to the backup was an accident because I forgot I got the backup. I was just so excited to find it again that, it's one of those, whoosh, you reach out, you grab it, you put it under your arm and go, mine.
Yeah.
And then you get home and go, shit, I already got it. Oh, well.
Yeah.
You know what? Somebody may want to trade. Who knows?
Yeah.
So anyway, but
see, I don't have a list, Richie,
this year.
I just like my whole journey into the whiskey tube thing was because I know in 5 years my wife retires and we're going to be traveling. So I knew I'm going to be in an RV or a van, or we haven't fully, but it's going to be a small limited space. Yeah. And so my goal with this whole journey, and it's been blown out of the water because now I have 70 bottles, but I wanted 5 bottles, 5 to 10 that I could carry in the RV van with me.
It will go to about 20. I guarantee it because I said
Yeah.
that too.
And so like I'm like I was trying to design a van. I'm like I'm working on designing like a space for the whiskey. And so
Yeah.
and like my goal was to find my favorite bourbon because I started out totally bourbon guy. That's all I drank. That's it.
Mhm.
I'm like crap. Now I'm liking scotch and I'm liking this and I never drank rye and I'm like I like rye. I'm like crap. This is blown out of the water and like I have to find a new plan because
Don't look at
my
that,
original plan is
Adriana.
thrown away.
Don't
What was that
look at that
question?
message that I just sent you until you go off stream,
Okay.
Adriana.
Oh, okay.
I just sent you a message of something which Lil ordered and got delivered today. You will
Oh, I know he's not. I just like leaving it there.
But yeah, that was my goal, and I failed. And so, like now, my new goal is I don't even know what it is. I'm like, I guess we got to get like a. I saw a video today. Somebody made a video bus RV out of a double decker bus out of London. I'm like, all right, so the upper deck could be the bar,
There you go.
and we live in the lower level because it's not going to fit in the van.
No. So I have the boxes that have the separations. So like you would get a case, they have the things in there. And so then when I pull that out, and I just have you could put bubble wrap in there, but I have a towel at the bottom. So then I put my bottles in there. So when it's in my trailer and I'm moving, they're on the floor because you're not ever going to have 4 or 5 bottles at any one time. I have 12 up there because I leave 6 there. That's just the 6 I leave there. And then I'm like, well, I'm in a mood for some scotch. So I bring up 6 scotches, or I go, well, I'm in the mood to do a rye weekend, and I'll put ryes in there. And then the people that I know up there, I'll invite them over and I will pour them flights of different ones. They have no idea. And I do a tasting for them. And
yeah, so just
you know,
change
they
that.
look forward to it. They're like, what'd you bring? What'd you bring? What'd you bring? Well, you'll find out here later on tonight.
I will try and pick you up a bottle of that, Anthony, to bring over to you next year.
What does that say?
Ginger
Starwood?
beer.
That's a Starwood what?
Ginger beer.
Ginger beer card.
Wow.
Really?
Single malt Australian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is good.
See, I don't like ginger beer. However, that doesn't mean it's going to taste like that in there.
Yeah, like how it affects
like
a single malt. It's going to be different.
It's like having a Kentucky Mule or something like that. So whiskey with ginger beer in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the batch 7 was just phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Making me think about it now. All right, I got to pour my last pours. I got to have the Port Charlotte. That's what I'm going to pour.
Well, I guess that to answer Richie's question, that's actually one that's on my list to buy. Is a Port Charlotte.
Yes. Oh, it's
you
so
can't
good.
go wrong. I'm just telling you.
So
I
good.
think
that was when I tried at the Davalaris, and like they let me try a few different scotches, like peated scotches, and I was like, cool. Can I have more of the Port Charlotte, please? Like, this was
can't beat it.
awesome. Yeah. So good. But I think I'm gonna go to bed. I do have to work tomorrow.
Yes, I understand that. I do too. So that's why I'm happy.
This
is my last.
Do you want me to keep an eye out for a bottle of the Oogie for you, Adriana, from over here?
Oh, we should be able to get it. I've just been low for a bit, and it was out for a bit. But Nick said he saw it again recently, so.
Well, if you can't, just let us know.
Yeah, I will. Thanks. So, but
I'll see y'all. We're putting together next year's bring over list.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. Getting on it.
All
Oh
right,
man, I don't know how y'all do it. So.
I appreciate you popping on, Doc. It's always a pleasure to have Whiskey Mountains on my stream for sure.
Thanks. It was fun. It was fun hanging out.
Cheers.
See ya.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, that coffee went down far too well.
Yeah, this scotch is going down far too well. But yeah, I know Jim's not going to be right back, but I keep telling people, I just leave it up there. He's going to come back eventually. He's going to come back eventually, but I think he reclined and that did it.
Yeah, it's the U.S. Postal Service. It'll get there eventually.
So
maybe dented or scratched, but it'll get there.
it'll get there. It certainly will.
Or that's like Deathless Dog Dan on his stream last week. He left the stream and left us in the back room, and then he disappeared, and like he never came back.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Last week, I left Shane and a few others in the back room. I said, "Look, I gotta go. I gotta get up at 5. But you guys have a good old time and just hang." And
I think I was one of those. I think, Anthony.
What's that?
I think I was one of those that you left.
Yeah,
in the back.
I was just going to say, I think you were still there, Chris.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't care. That's what it's for.
So I was on day off.
Well, no, the funny part with Dan is that he said he'd be right back, and then he left, and then never came back.
Well, it happens, you know.
It does.
Okay.
I told the story about watching HBR a little over a year ago, back when he was just starting his channel, and I'm in my chair, you know, I've got my iPad going, and I'm just relaxing. I'm having a sip, and next thing I know, I'm looking around. My iPad went dark, and I'm like, "What the heck?" And so I turned it back on and realized 4.5 hours went by. So I guess I must have closed my eyes and started that time travel thing, and it was over. I don't even. The drink was still in my hand. Never spilled it. It was resting, you know, just like you would put it on the arm. Never moved. And I'm like, once I realized, I went, well, shoot, set it down and said, that's it. And I told him about it, and he laughed. He goes, yeah, time travel will hit you at any time.
Yeah. You never know when time traveling will happen.
That's right. That is right.
I have not had this since before we went to the States.
Which? Oh, that's the Starwood?
Yeah, the ginger beer cask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's 149 Australian. It's not cheap. But then anything over here.
Well, I was going to say, nothing in Australia is. No, definitely Jim isn't awake. He's been counting sheep for, I'm going to say, an hour and 15 minutes of this stream. I think he was on the first 15 minutes. You know? But, oh well. He's all right.
I just hope he set alarm so he can get to work on time.
Well, you know what? I don't have to set alarm. My wife will be up at around 5 o'clock. And so once she stirs, I'm up. That's it. I won't lay back down till 11:30, 12.
Hell, I don't even know. I go to bed and I don't know when my wife gets up to go. I wake up hours later and look at a text message that says she arrived safely at work.
And you go.
That's because generally you're going to bed when she's getting up.
Yeah, I crash usually about 30 minutes before she's going to work, and I'm out. Thanks, Vic.
Oh, cheers, Bill. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's always a good time. And, you know, one thing what people always tell me about the stream, Bill, is it's informative, particularly when we really got into Pete and started to break it down. And you know, Ken was in there and Will was in there. And of course, you, and we're all discussing this stuff. This is what people talk about from my stream, and that I get texts on, or they send me an email and say, oh man, that was great. You need to do this, or we need to go more down this road or that road. It is what it is. I never have an agenda. Wherever avenue we go, we go. You know, and tonight it just happened to be Pete popped out, and that's it. that's just where we go. It's the night for Pete. And when Ken's here, it's definitely Scotch. Oh, speaking of Ken, I just realized I highlighted him. Oh yeah.
Hopefully he's better.
Yeah,
soon.
well,
I hope he's all right.
Like Ken when he shoves his fingers down the back of his throat so he can come home.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you don't remember that trick, do you, Ken? Come on.
Hmm.
Holding the thermometer to the lamp before your mom comes in the room.
Well, you know what? I don't think anyone has a regular thermometer anymore. They're all digital.
Oh yeah, no, you can't do that trick anymore.
But you notice,
Well, with the mercury one, you had to be careful because it got too hot. The fucking thing would explode.
Hey, but the thing about that was is we all laughed at it because we knew exactly what you were talking about because we did it.
Or you had a 205 temperature, and they're like, "Holy shit, you're dead."
You're like, I feel like it. He probably is. You never know. That's right. Ken was a saint. His halo might have been bent, crooked, and non-existent, but he was a saint.
I like that. Samuel actually likes school, but he's young. Yeah, give him time, Ken.
Yeah,
because he's got his little harem at school. That's why he doesn't mind going to school.
in Oklahoma. All right.
So we're still all good for tonight then, Ken?
Are you guys finishing up the lunar lander?
Yeah. That's
exactly what I was going to say. You've got the lunar just to finish up because you pretty much put a big dent in it last week.
Yeah, well, we got the base of the landing module done, so it's halfway done. We've got about 4 bags or 5 bags left to do.
That's what we try to do, Richie. We try to get that evening in. We get our nightcaps and just exactly right. Well, I seen that picture that you posted up on Discord with him with there was a girl there, Ken. Yeah, so
he's got a couple.
So there you go. He's all ready.
I might try and get a little bit more sleep at some stage because I've only had about 3 hours to finish.
Those make for a long day. Sometimes I get like that. I just, even though after this I'm tired and I get cleaned up and I go lay down, I just don't fall asleep. My eyes are closed, but I can hear every little creak and crack going on in the house. I can hear the dog. I mean, I'm just not sleeping. And then when I really get into the sleep, my wife's alarm goes off, and then that just starts my motor going, and it's like boom, I'm going again. The Saturn V liftoff. All right.
No, Ken's got the Saturn V. I've got to go and buy that.
Yeah.
Oh, Shelby, I'm telling you what. I was looking at some when those guys were doing that module that Chris has. Wow. For Legos. I mean, I knew the prices shot up because I've heard Ken talk about it, but I never really paid attention. But holy smokes, have they really? It's like, oh my gosh, you can spend a few $100 on different ones easy. Look at Chris, like, yeah.
Well, these were 150.
I know. It's like, holy smokes.
I shouted Ken his so that we could build it together. So. I mean, admittedly, it took me nearly a year to get it over to Ken. I got a little distracted with some things earlier this year.
Well, you're getting your hot tube going and all that stuff.
Well,
Mhm.
that wasn't such a problem, although that distracted me away from my main distraction for this year.
Well,
Was
that's
Will's
true.
fault, so.
Yes, there's other distractions. That's for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you had to plan this trip that you just came back from. So yeah, that's a heck of a distraction.
well, Lil's already started planning next year.
Oh, I'm
She's
sure
already
she did.
starting doing the layout. I think she sent Will Dubler a message telling him he's got to get his ass into gear and sort out whether he's doing a big birthday for Michelle or not, so that we can in August, so we know whether we're coming over a month earlier.
Mm. Well,
Oh,
Michelle's turning what, 40?
35 again, 30 again, I think. Yeah.
Oh, again? Okay, I got you. Yeah, I understand. Mhm.
It's sort of like Lil went through a period where she was 29 plus for
Vic,
11 years.
dude, just go in there and put the tape on the eyelids and just tape them right down there and be done with it.
Let us know how you go tomorrow, Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Send us texts. You know, take pictures. Want to see that sleeper cab, you know? Let us know if it's a Kenworth, a Peterbilt, a Volvo, you know.
Freightliner.
Yeah, I was just going to say Freightliner. Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm going to bring Vic next year for him, though. I've just got to figure out how to get it over there because of the weight.
Oh, yeah, they'll charge you.
So, no, it'll come over with us. But Ken, I'm thinking
talking
about getting
your luggage gets so heavy and stuff like that. They charge you.
Yeah, Ken, I'm thinking about getting Vic a set of truck nuts for his work truck.
Oh yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. That would be good. You can hang them on there. Mm-hmm.
It's a very
I wouldn't do it
Australian
from
thing.
the mirror, but you know.
Oh no, these go off the either the rib,
The trailer.
basically, the tow hammer, or you can put them off the front bar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he'll put it on too.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. So
Yep.
I understand there, Brian, that you did quite well in hockey today by your post.
Yeah, we won 7-4. 2 assists for me, no goals. Came a couple times.
I heard a puck kind of got a little tender with you, didn't it?
Oh yeah, the ribs are a little sore because it never hits the padding. It always hits in between the pads. But the fat roll
That's why I said
took the brunt of it. I got a perfect puck shape on my
Hey, thank goodness for that.
Last week's bruises on that shoulder.
Oh yeah, look at that. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yep. I laughed at that when you talked about the natural padding. I was like, yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it took it. I took it. I went because I'll block shots. I don't care. I'll drop and block shots. Yeah. But
Isaiah,
I blocked it, and the guy who shot it, he's got a wicked slap shot. Like it had to have been going probably 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just lucky it actually hit me flat instead of thin, because thin hurts a whole lot more.
Melons and fruit, huh? Wow.
Well, I might be. I just got a message from Lil just before while I was looking at my phone. So I might be a bachelor for the next week.
She going to work?
Yeah, she's up. Went to work up at Rockhampton for yesterday, and she might be up there for a week. She was only supposed to be up there for a couple of days, and she was supposed to go to Cairns today, but that got cancelled with going to Rockhampton yesterday. So,
is she still transporting?
She's investigating at the moment. Something.
Okay.
So I'll tell you about it off.
Oh yeah, no, I got it.
Offline.
But I knew she was doing some transporting when she just before the holiday.
Yeah.
They had her.
Yeah,
doing
well,
some
she's
stuff.
back to being able to do that now because she has
Basically
done all
she's
the
back to
recall.
work now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, she had to do her other recall, so
Mm-hmm.
so now she's all excited because she thinks that she might be able to make platinum
Okay.
frequent flyer for the year.
Does that mean she'll get the use of the lounge for free?
Oh well, we already get that, but yeah, she'll be able to go to the first class lounge.
Leave you in business, right?
Oh well, I'll just go and do a couple of flights up to my brother's place when I'm on weekends off, and
Oh yeah. Because he's at the opposite end of you, right?
yeah, he's halfway. He's sort of halfway between Ken and me, so he's up at the top end.
There was a documentary on television here about when Charles and Diana came over there in, was it 83, 84? I think they were in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they were in your neck of the woods at that particular time. And no, they were, I caught a glimpse of it, but they were showing the thing, and I forget, was it your PM at the time? But they were really hoping to kind of break ties and go off on their own.
Yeah, that was when they were having the big Republican push.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just
I
interesting.
think it's the Republic.
I forgot all about that. I remember it now when they talked about it. And I remember seeing it in the news here, but I was in junior high back then. So, you really didn't watch the news.
We would be a true banana republic because I think our official currency would become the banana. So,
yeah. But yeah, it just went like down the drain once, they got over there and people met her and him, and it just, changed.
Well, Chucky didn't do too much for it all. It was all Diana.
Yeah. Yeah. True. That's what he said. That's what it talked about.
She had personality, and
I did forget all about that. Cheers, man. Oh yeah, don't forget about Roadhouse.
Slapshot's Roadhouse.
Yeah,
we got to get him up to 500 subs.
Exactly. Well, I just realized I think I'm sitting at, I don't know, I might be at 260 now. 258.
259.
I was close.
Showing. Yeah.
I was somewhere in there, but I'm getting there. When I get to that 300 mark, 350, I'll do another special stream. But I think it'll be 350 will be more special. I'll do the 350 stream.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the Loch Ness Monster stream.
What's that?
You can do the Loch Ness Monster stream.
Exactly. Make sure Ken's on.
350.
350. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Richie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 128 right now.
And he's got sub number 2 on screen with him.
Yep.
There we go. I knew he'd hear it and pop up. I was just waiting for it. I knew he'd hear it. Somebody say 350?
No, 350.
Somebody say 350? Here he comes. If he could figure out a way to get that video clip to play right here, right now, it'd have been up there. Oh, goodness. That's right. Make sure we get Ken's up there without a doubt. But anyway.
No, but we're definitely doing a Bay Area meetup next year. So
you were saying that before, that there's going to be one on the West Coast for sure, besides the big meetup and stuff that you guys had in Kentucky.
Yeah, well, we're going to do one in San Fran in the Bay Area. And then we'll probably, if we going up to the Dollars, we'll have one around there. Otherwise, I know Lil wants to try and go to Salt Lake.
You know, I haven't been there yet. I've lived on this side of the world for quite some time, but I definitely want to get up there. It's one of my goals this summer. Take the caravan up, pull it up there, and then
we'll have Kentucky and DC and probably Niagara Falls. So we'll get up.
If you haven't been there, it's interesting. You know, living where I did on the East Coast, we weren't far from that. I lived off of Lake Erie, and so it wasn't unusual for us to take a day trip and go up to Niagara Falls. But after a while, you got to the point to where you could only see so much water falling off a cliff as a kid. You just couldn't stand it anymore. But I've been there many, many, many times, and that's when you could just walk right across the bridge and through. Nobody said boo to you. I can remember that. So that's
Canadians don't say boo; they say sorry, eh?
Oh, look who's here! Goddamn bacon! Cheers. I guess he knew we were here.
That's okay. Sure. What am I going to have for another pour?
Well, I don't know how you're going to compete with ginger beer right now.
It livened up my palate, which is really good. I'm starting to use that now to reset my palate when we're doing things, because it just has the effervescence of it all.
Does it really? Does it have a little of that in there?
It's just the brightness of the ginger beer. Just really brings your palate back to life. So
interesting.
Yeah, that might be a good plan there, Ben. We will let you know.
Yeah. Well, one thing about Lil, she does communicate it well in advance. Gives the majority of the people enough time to try and plan things.
That's why she is my social director.
That exactly right. But anyway.
No, more like the Bundaberg ginger beer, Richie. It's not so much like a soda-y style. It's more like a brewed. It's a brewed ginger beer.
Uh-oh, there's his attack cat.
Yep.
Ignores me anytime I'm not on stream.
Well, maybe the cat just wants to, be on.
He wants his own TikTok, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Is the cat coming on going, where's Sugar Kitty?
Yeah. Exactly.
Nah, he's just happy that the dog goes to bed with the wife. So that's his time to get back to being with daddy. So that rotten dog took his daddy time.
That's right.
So we had him. He's like 13 years old. And then we had the dog for 3. So.
Well, my dad's cats lived to be well in their 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Just letting you know. They really Oh, you're a Mick.
I love this little guy.
He's
my boy.
Well, I'm going to pour a little more of the port Charlotte, I think, since Chris poured a little more of that. I'll end the stream here in a few, and then we'll go to the back room and for a few. You're twisting my arm. This poor Charlotte was really hitting the spot here tonight.
Yeah, you've been enjoying that.
Oh, I like Port Charlotte. I think for me, it is pretty much the right balance of peat with smoke, sweetness, and that brine that Brian talks about on there. But I do notice the cap is, and it seems to be Brooklotti is one of the, it just does it. But they get,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, I had a Rebel. My Rebel 100 was doing that, so I've changed over to a synthetic cork.
yeah, well, that's why I keep it. I still keep. Well, I try to keep them all in the tin or the box they come in. That if something stupid like that happens, it's just another layer of that. Oh, look at this! Look at this, Faz.
Hey,
Cheers.
Faz.
Hey, Faz.
From a week of fishing. Well, I hope you got that freezer stocked.
Well, it'd be 7 o'clock at night over there, isn't it, Faz?
Yeah, because he's way up north.
Well, Faz is in daylight savings.
Yeah.
Over in New Zealand, so it's 5 to 4 here, and he's 3 hours in front now. So it'll be going on to 7 p.m. at night.
Okay.
But a week of fishing is code in New Zealand for basically just a giant hungy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and Faz, if you're wondering why it says we'll be right back, Jim isn't coming back. He just put that there just to tell everybody he'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim's sleeping right now.
Yeah. I hope he got out of his chair at least.
Faz was driving past all these little bottle shops and couldn't stop. Terrible.
I understand. Sometimes the price just isn't worth it. You want to have them, but the price just isn't there. Yeah, the Port Charlotte's really hitting the spot tonight.
Must say this bitch's small batch is absolutely fantastic with the leftover of the ginger beer cask. Then I've got that little bit of ginger beer on the back of it and for the nose and.
Mm-hmm. No, 60 Hertz. He's done. We think that the seatbelt is what kept him in the chair that he was in while he was on the first 10 or 15 minutes of my stream. And he said basically said he'll be back, but we knew better. We knew better.
No, well, he didn't say which day he would be back.
Well, that's true. He didn't. Back. He never said that. So that's why I just said, well, he'll be back tomorrow. I didn't say which tomorrow, but he'll be back. He'll be back. That's for sure. When he wakes up and still sees that he was streaming, or it'll have the screen that comes up with like a dozen different videos on there, he's going to go, oh, shit.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet.
No?
I always check out before I go to sleep.
No, I do the same thing too. Yeah. Dude, he's going to be able to build a 2-story log cabin with 6 rooms. Guaranteed.
No, I'll come back in the morning and find that I didn't turn the iPad completely off.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still in the stream.
Yeah, that's all right.
But
that's okay. On the stream here in 2 minutes at 2 hours on the dot. And we'll chat for a few in the back room, finish up my pour, and we'll call it a night. But yeah, I just wish that Fusion 7 would have been a little older.
Yep.
And I'm going to just go out on a limb and say if it was 4 years, I think some of that young note, that bitterness on there would have been gone. Yep. And I would have really enjoyed it more. I'm going to continue to drink it because the time in the bottle has helped it a smidge. And then literally 2 drops of water helped it a smidge more. So for me,
I haven't tried it with water. have to try
Just literally, when I say drop,
Yeah.
2 drops in about an ounce and a half. I think that's what was in the glass. Ounce to ounce and a half. I'm going to go max ounce and a half.
Yeah.
2 drops. You know, swirl it up. I had the Glen cap on it. Swirl up. And I left it set for about 10 more minutes. Finished that before the stream. And then during the stream, I poured a fresh one. And then went back at it. And pretty much stuff was subdued a bit since the first pour 3 months ago. But nah, it's okay. That's it. It's just okay. That's
So
all.
do you ever finish off that wilderness trail?
Oh, I've got a couple of wilderness trails.
No, the one that you went back and revisited after about 6 months, and we did that.
Oh, that wasn't the wilderness trail. That wilderness. Okay, that was amazing. That was the first one I ever bought, and it turned into a cherry bomb. The kind of where you take that sip and you like, what did I just drink? It was that good. Yeah, I polished that sucker off. I tried not to, but it's so hard when you get something that I mean, it was like a soda. I mean, it was just good. I don't drink sodas much anymore, but when I do, it's like, wow, that was really good. That just was wonderful on that wilderness trail. Now I have some store pick wilderness trails that are fabulous. I have a standard wilderness trail that I bought to replace the one that I really liked. I haven't cracked it at all yet. It's just sitting there. But I tell everybody, don't look away from a wilderness trail. Go ahead and get it. Take a few good pours out of it, get it well past the shoulder, cork it up, and revisit that thing in about a month or two. And wow. And like I said, mine just like what happens. Stuff gets pushed to the back of your shelves or whatever. It's not that you have no intentions on drinking it again. You just have so much other stuff you're going through. And so now on the evenings, like Thursday night or Friday night, when I get home, I try to reach back there now and I grab different bottles and give myself a little pour on a Thursday night or a Friday night, something that I haven't had in months.
Yep.
Just because, I've got it open. Why am I not going back to it? So going back to it, going, ooh, man, is that good? Why am I leaving it set? But then I've got so many other good ones. So anyway, yeah,
that's always the dilemma. It's what happens to me in here. You walk in and go, you spend more time trying to think what you want for your first pour than.
Well, you know what? I don't think, I know that there is a time limit once you get a bottle open, depending upon the airspace in there. So if you got them in there, basically that from the bottom, you need to start working on them. But if they're half full, half empty, however you want to look at it, I'm not against leaving them set for a solid year, if not a little more, honestly, because I personally haven't noticed any difference. And I've got bottles open over a year, taste as good. And in the case of that wilderness trail that Chris is talking about, holy smokes, that was an amazing pour. 6-7 months later that I went back to it. And that was actually the bottle I did my very first video on. Wow. Was amazing. I was like, holy cow, had that thing changed? Really?
Yeah, actually, I'll have to bring over the 2 different 115 proof Yellowstones that I've got for you to try too.
Well, I have the Yellowstone at 115. Right there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll have to bring over the 2 single barrels, which I've got.
They're phenomenal. I would not have touched a standard Yellowstone in a million years if someone hadn't turned me on to these 115 proofers. Oh, wow. Wonderful, wonderful. And you know what? I don't drink soda like I used to. Recently, when I say recently, like in the last 2 months, I got kind of turned on to the Coke Zero. And if I have one, I go for that now. And if I have something that's not alcoholic, I really like the Guinness non-alcoholic beer. I can't believe how decent that is. The first non-alcoholic beer I ever tasted was the O'Doul's shit. And that's what it is. And that turned me many years ago. And on a whim, I bought a 4-pack of this Guinness months ago. And I'm like, oh, man, this actually has flavor. It has taste. And if I didn't know any better, I would think I was drinking a Guinness. It's that creamy, that thick, and so darn close to it. But I think the alcohol is what gives it that push of sweetness. Yeah, the chocolate I get out of a Guinness is still there. So anyway, sometimes that's what I have. But that's just me. But I found that I really like that. Well, you're going to like it, Richie. I'm just telling you, I've not had a bad one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about them.
Well, we didn't forget about Doc because we were
No.
We left Vegas the day before her birthday.
Was it the day before?
Yeah.
I thought she was celebrating it.
She's the 8th. We left the 7th.
That's right. That's right. The 8th.
We basically did a whole joint thing with Vic, myself, Lil, and Adriana because she was the 8th, Vic's the 11th, I'm the 12th, and Lil's the 13th.
Well, Doc's birthday and my wife's birthday is the same day. Yep. There's an age difference, but yeah, they're the same day. They really are. I have changed my mind on them for many years. When I say many years, 15 years or more, you couldn't have given me one of those beers for anything. In my opinion, they were crap. And then all of a sudden, I just got this thirst for Guinness, and I haven't had a real beer in about 2 years.
Yep.
And I thought, well, let me try it. What the hell? So I did, and it was great. And I'm going to say it was sometime in August this past, I had a actual beer that was a stout from a local brew here in Vegas. And oh, was it so damn good. It's like having a candy bar when you haven't had one in a long time, but there definitely was a difference because of the alcohol, not because it buzzed me or anything like that. No, but the alcohol had a different flavor in the way it mixed with that stout and the creaminess and stuff. It was really, really damn good. But I only had one with my dinner and I went back to water, but it was terrific.
10-year Bushmills.
Adriana's is the 8th of September.
Yep. So I think with everybody that was in Vegas, I think the only day we were missing was the 9th of September, I think. To have like a week of birthdays.
Mm-hmm. God, this Port Charlotte's amazing. I'm sorry, but I love the smell of the Port Charlotte. I love that maltiness on the nose. I love that sweetbread note. It's just great. But anyway, all right.
That's right. I love this Bushmills because it's Oloroso.
What is that, green?
Yeah, it's the 10-year.
Okay.
Oloroso sherry and 2 woods. Oloroso sherry and bourbon.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to end the stream here and call it a night for those in chat. I just wanted to say thank you, everybody. It was a great stream. Loved the chat. Loved the conversation on Pete. Thanks to all of you that contributed. Ken, it was wonderful having you in there. Great insight on Pete. Bill, same thing. I know Will's not here right now. He's calling the hogs too, along there with Jim. But really was a great stream. Loved it. Really informative. I know I'll get some good feedback on it because, people just love that type of particular talk. And like I said, I never really have a script other than maybe if I'm just going to quickly review something. But tonight it just took off on Scotch and Pete and the differences. And I think we could have many streams on Scotch and differences and stuff like that. I mean, really, it's one of those things that people can't get enough of, or they're extremely Pete curious and want to know more. And so hopefully that those of you that are here really got some insight on that and have a better understanding of Pete. And always feel free to put something in chat or come on to the stream when I post the link. You are more than welcome to come on and contribute or, participate, ask questions. But cheers, everybody. Thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing you. And just an FYI, there is a possibility that next weekend I may not stream because I have a possible hunt I'm going to do in a couple of states for some whiskey. So if that happens, we'll see. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Anthony.
Cheers.